Good morning and welcome to Real Talks Dominate Real Estate. I'm your host for this morning, Eyerusalem Meaza. Grab a cup of coffee and let's make your real estate career better. In this morning headlines, rents are on the rise once again. After 8 months of slowdowns, rent growth in the largest metros saw an increase in March, rising 1.1% year over year, according to Realtor.com's monthly rental report released on Tuesday. The median rent nationwide for the 50 largest metros averaged $1,463 in March. Over the last 8 months, rent growth decreased from 2.2% in July 2020 to just 0.6% in February. Although we're still below the 3.2% growth we were seeing before COVID, average rent growth in the nation's largest housing markets saw its first uptick since July 2020, and rents are poised to rise at a quickening pace as recovery continues, said Daniel Hale, Realtor.com's chief economist. Across the country, rents could push higher over the coming months, Hale notes. As home prices reach record highs and interest rates climb, Americans may show an increasing desire for rentals as would-be home buyers decide to hold off on purchasing a home. In other news, March was a record-breaking month for the housing market, with the worsening imbalance between supply and demand pushing median home prices and buyer offers to new highs. The national median home price rose 17% year over year to $353,000, a new high according to Redfin's latest market analysis published on Thursday. Despite skyrocketing home price growth and dangerously low inventory levels, home buyers were out in full force. The average listing sold within 25 days, and nearly half of those listings sold above the asking price, 42%. No home sold below the asking price, with Redfin's average list-to-sale ratio surpassing 100% for the first time. Nationally active listings declined negative 29% for the 20th consecutive month to the lowest level on record, as new listings of homes for sale fell 7% from March 2020. Even with the current volatility, Redfin lead economist Taylor Morris said home buyers have much to gain through home equity, and waiting for a slowdown could be a decision they come to regret later. Now on to the mortgage interest rates. We have 30-year fixed 3.125%, 30-year jumbo 3.000%, and FHA and VA loans are both 2.625%, brought to you by PNC Mortgage of the metropolitan area. Next, onto the market stats. In the last week in Hampton Roads, we saw 1,706 new listings hit the market, 2,338 properties go pending, and 1,330 homes sold. In the last week in the Washington metro area, let me go again. I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. In the last week in the Washington metro area, we saw, within 30 miles of the White House, 1,706 new listings hit the market, 2,338 go pending, and 1,333 homes sold. Now the Hampton Roads market, got it flipped up. We saw 769 new listings hit the market, 813 properties go pending, and 695 properties sold. And now on to our special guest speaker for today, Avi Golhar, a 3-time nationally syndicated radio show host, entrepreneur, and investor who combines his love for building wealth with his passion for education and all things media. His favorite activity is buying rental real estate and ordering a grande iced no espresso Americano. He's also the host of the Think Realty podcast. Please help me welcome the most talented face on radio, Avi Golhar. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Definitely the most talented face on radio. I think that sums it up for me this morning. Good to be here, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're so glad to have you on today. So what inspired you to speak to others about the topic, building your influence brand?
Yeah, building your influencer brand for me is a really interesting topic, because when I first started in this business, I thought, how do I achieve a level of, maybe becoming like a kind of mini celebrity in my niche, because ultimately that's what we have to become to gain the trust, to gain the visibility, to find additional clients, whether you're working with homeowners, whether you're working with folks that want to buy real estate, maybe first-time home buyers, et cetera. And in order to build that ACE, what we call it, authority, celebrity, and exclusivity. We also have to understand how to build trust. Not a lot of agents nationwide. I've had the fortune of really connecting with so many amazing agents across the country. And not a lot of folks understand what it takes to really build that influencer brand. And what is the step-by-step process on multiple channels across the interwebs. For those of you that are a little older, you're like, I still think the internet is a fad even after 2002. Okay, I get it. Believe me, I'm part of your older millennial generation that grew up with floppy disks, right? And frankly, there is a lot here that you need to know in a very short amount of time. So the reason that I built this program, this class, this seminar specifically for you guys is so that you understand what leverage points you need to build your influence and go get more clients. It's that simple.
Awesome, awesome. And we're so looking forward for you joining us on our next speaker series segment for May, on May 5th, everyone. So what do you want people to take away most from your presentation on May 5th?
Yeah, I think the number one takeaway is that it's possible. There are a lot of different online platforms. You've got Twitter, wait a minute, who still uses Twitter? You still use Twitter? Is that the right answer here? Yeah, you do, really? No, That's the wrong answer. Really? Nice. So there are a lot of platforms, right? You got LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram Reels, IGTV, posts, stories, Facebook, and the list goes on, even LinkedIn. And frankly, there are a lot of things to do on each of these platforms. So what's the expectation of one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you should be posting every single day, 5 times a day, and not doing any of your other work. I don't think that's right. So there's a very specific formula that you can use to boil it down to maybe 1 or 2 platforms and really engage and understand what you need to post in those platforms for maximum effect, and how you build trust using the content that you're posting. So that really is that number one takeaway that I want you to take away from it.
Awesome, awesome. And what is the one thing someone can do right now to make a difference in their business?
Be consistent. It sounds stupid, but I wake up every morning and I make my bed. It's the one thing that I absolutely love to do because it puts my day on the right track. Then I jump into my 10-minute morning routine. I don't think you need 2 or 3 hours in the morning, but I'm consistent with it every single morning. The more consistent you are with connecting with new leads, connecting with some previous clients of yours, maybe posting on social, you won't see the benefit in the immediate future. What you will see is the benefit long-term. And if you're consistent long-term, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, a year and a half, because that's what it's going to take in this business, because there's so much noise online. YouTube, for example, you might think there's a lot of noise on YouTube. Well, I'll deconstruct why there isn't as much, especially in a specific niche that you might want to target. But if you're not consistent posting on YouTube, if you're not consistent posting on Instagram, if you're not consistent posting on LinkedIn with really good content, like your content level has to be up here. Right? Like you can't just post the emoji and take a bunch of pictures and say, hi, see you later, and that's it with like no caption. You actually have to do the work. If you're consistent, you'll win.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, awesome advice. And there's going to be so much more information that you're going to be sharing with us next month, guys. Everyone, just to emphasize on the date, please save the date. Wednesday, May 5th at 10 a.m. We will be YouTube Live. Avi will be joining us on the topic, Build Your Influencer Brand, a complete content marketing crash course for sales and investment professionals. The description was awesome, like cold calling, door knocking, endless and expensive mailing lists, lead gen that doesn't generate real leads. There is a better way. A real robust content marketing plan can help you create a real estate business that is constantly bringing you new leads and new clients. It's clients who come to you ready to work with you because you have already proven your expertise. Please go to dominaterealestate.net, click on the events tab up at the top, go to May and register, and you will be provided with a YouTube link. So tune in. We will go YouTube Live and Facebook. So definitely looking forward to that. Avi, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us a preview. And we definitely have something to look forward to for May. And we're really excited to have you joining us.
Likewise, can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks.
You got it.
All right, Amy, Coach Amy Lassen. Now, wow, we have two guests today. Okay, so now we're on to Amy. We will talk about your next class on Monday. Welcome, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So today we will be discussing generating more referrals by following this system, or is it 3 systems? So tell us a little bit more about that.
We were going to give 3 tips today. 3 tips today, and I was excited to hear from Abhi. He had some really good things to add to my outline. So the 3 tips, the 3 things that you need to know to increase more referrals are: educate people about your service. And that's probably overly simple. When I looked at the list, I thought, this is going to sound so generic because it would apply to any business, right? You've got to educate people about your service. But I think a lot of us skip that part. We think somehow if we wear a name tag or if we have a business card, people must know what we do. And that's not right. So let's educate people about our service. Number 1, stay in touch, ask for the business. Those are the 3 things. And I have, oh, there he is. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So the things that Abhi said, I'll just jump now. He said, be consistent. Dear heavens, that was perfect. Have quality content and you will win, and be consistent. And I feel like he just stole my thunder. It was fantastic. So I think agents do fall short of providing the content that would be needed to have people believe in their service. You know, Eyerusalem, you and I talk about this in the various classes that we build together. What is an agent going to need to do to package up their service so that people understand it and can engage, right? A lot of people, when they need an agent, they just Google real estate and whoever they trip over, or they call the listing agent, right? Or they go to some sort of a Zillow or Realtor.com or Redfin, and they search for homes, and then somebody calls them back and they'd say, close enough, right?
Right.
How would it be to have an agent who stays with you for a lifetime, an agent who comes alongside you and becomes your partner in the home ownership journey? Anytime you have questions, anytime you have concerns, if you're wondering, gosh, Eyerusalem, should I sell now? I'm hearing things like this is a crazy market, right? Wouldn't it be wonderful that they have their go-to person, right? Should I paint my entire house blue? Is it really the color of the year? Should I renovate my kitchen? Will I get top dollar? Should I buy an investment property? Become that go-to resource. And by educating people about your service, sending that why call Eyerusalem letter to your entire database, to your entire sphere of influence, and then having some sort of an educational piece like that you send out to every single lead that gets added over time, right? Make sure they understand that they can call you for any reason remotely related to real estate. That keeps you top of mind. If you make them believe the only time they should ever call you is when they're ready to see a house, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you, because it's not always just buying and selling. There's a lot of agents that I spoke to, like a lot of their lot of referrals they got just for, with what's happening with this market with the low interest rates and refinance. A lot of their past clients and friends have been reaching out to them just for questions about what's going on with the market, and whether they're not ready to sell or buy. They just wanted more information about the market, about the low mortgage rates. Was it worth refinancing or not? And so that was their go-to person, regardless, just for any real estate related advice about housing and things like that. And so it's really important that Amy and I, we always reiterate this with our classes and things like that, is to really consistently keep in touch with your clients, and you want them to really be the first person. You want to be the first person that comes to mind. And I had a conversation with one of our agents, and she was telling me, she was like, I forgot who I bought my house to. She forgot the name of the agent. She forgot the name of the agent who helped her buy her first home. And she was like, I will not do that for my future clients.
Ooh, good lesson.
And she was, we talked about email marketing strategies, ways to keep in contact with your clients. And it's really important to get their contact information. And she was just like, I don't know. That agent probably had my contact information, but I don't even remember her name anymore. So that obviously, we all know that is not her go-to person, right?
Yep.
So it's that just comes to show that it's really important to consistently be in contact with your clients. And we talk about, geo farming, seasonal marketing, whether it's calendars and, holiday cards. There's a lot of things that we're doing within our in-house marketing department to do that, and the tech tools that I talk about. But it's really important. And that conversation that I had with that agent was just surprising when she was just like, I don't know who was the agent.
Right.
Yeah, it was really shocking. But you make a really good point.
Well, so we're going to talk on Monday about all the things that you can do to nurture the sphere of influence that you have now, and hopefully the growing sphere, the database that it grows over time. But those are the three key elements. Educate them about your service, stay in touch, and ask for the business. So in the realm of educating them about your service, you can go to Dominate Real Estate, and there is a letter there. There is a template there that you could use as an announcement letter to sort of reintroduce yourself to everyone. So make sure you have some sort of if you haven't been staying in touch, do that. And then following a standard process for educating clients with each transaction. The best time to educate people about your service is while you're serving them. You do an extraordinary job. I've shared this story before that I shared a client with my sister. She helped them sell their house. She referred them to me. I helped them buy. And we were driving around, and the client turned to me and said, oh, by the way, Amy, I wanted to tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, your sister is a 15. And I thought, man, what better testimonial or review could you get than that? So let's provide such extraordinary service in the moment that they remember us in that way. They don't just remember our name. They remember it was amazing service. And if somebody were to ask, hey, Amy, do you know a good agent? I've shared before now, anybody who wants a good Denver agent, I trip over myself to refer my sister, and not as a favor to my sister, as a favor to them. Because I now know that no matter how busy she is, she finds a way to provide extraordinary service. So that's what we want. Educate people about your service by announcing what it is, packaging it up in a letter, in a post, in a series of things, but also just deliver that experience when you serve them so that they remember not just your name, but the way you treat people, and that they want their friends and neighbors and coworkers to experience that service. Then keep them in the know about the market over time, right? Now, not everyone moves every year, so they don't need the granular detail of every little thing. Days on market and list to sell ratio and everything like that doesn't necessarily matter week to week to the average consumer, but you can give them the big picture. We're all watching this extraordinary market unfold, and we all have questions. So be the one to provide them that information and package it up in a simple way that it matters to them now, even if they're not moving this year. And then, as Avi said, have quality content, right? If you're going to bother to post something, make it good. Don't overthink it too much, but you can package up really quality content and post it on social, or deliver it via MailChimp or some such thing like that. And there is an opportunity. You could sign up for the RE/MAX Allegiance newsletter. That could be a way that you stay in touch over time. So you're educating people about the market and you're staying in touch. And then it's consistent. Because that was the other thing that Avi said, be consistent. Oh my goodness, we are all so guilty of sending something once and then getting busy or getting distracted and not staying on task. So signing up for the RE/MAX Allegiance newsletter will help give you that consistency. The other thing I would add under staying in touch is to provide a yearly home value report. Those people that you have made them you have become their partner in the home ownership journey. Provide them a market update every year. Yeah, you can use an auto valuation model, but I think it's more special, and I've shared this before, if you actually create a report, an overview of the area sales around them, and package it up with a beautiful cover, and it's printed out. It's a hard thing, and they keep it. It's special, right? And then they'll keep those year over year. And they don't forget that you are their agent. So that's that one touch that you could do that would be absolutely consistent over the years and possibly decades. And then you can connect on social. Now, we talked about quality posting, Avi did, but I strongly also engage that you budget the time to connect, right? Chat them up. And Eyerusalem, you teach the fantastic class, putting the social back in social media. That's the point of that class, right?
Right.
Recognize, yes, it's an advertising platform, but it's a social platform. And some people, that's the best way to communicate with them. I think we all know people that you call, they don't pick up. You text them. It may even get lost in the myriad of texts that they get in any given day. You message them on Messenger, suddenly they're engaged. Everybody has a different favorite method of communication. So don't neglect to connect with your sphere of influence and your leads on social media. You can budget 15 minutes a day, set a timer on your phone, jump on there and chat people up, comment on the things that they post, congratulate them for their life events, be a part of their community. That, I think, is a really, really great way to stay in touch over time. You can, I think we've all been a lot of us feel like we don't want to be annoying, right?
Right.
Coaches and trainers say, call your sphere, call your sphere. It's like, well, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be pushy. Of course not. None of us does, right? But you want to stay in touch. You don't want to find out 3 years from now that they had twins and you didn't know, right? Social media is a heck of a cheat to staying in touch with people's lives, right? You don't have to call and interrupt their dinner and try to find out what's going on with their lives. So connecting on social really, really is a shortcut to staying engaged with people. But I would then say still call or text at least once a year. And most coaches and trainers say every quarter, 4 times a year. 2 times would be great. If I heard from my agent once every 6 months, back before I was an agent, I think that would have been impressive. I only heard from her once at all, and it was when she needed a favor, and it wasn't a real estate favor. So staying in touch involves all those things, right? Keeping them in the know with a monthly touch like a newsletter, providing them a yearly home value report, connecting with them on social, and actually speak to them voice to voice, somehow have a conversation so that you feel connected. I've shared before that years ago, my assistant told me, she said, Amy, Gary Ash was my agent. Nobody knows who he is. But anyway, he was my agent. 10 years ago, he helped my husband and I buy our house. And he has been in touch consistently by way of sending me birthday cards. He sends me a birthday card every single year like clockwork. But he's never once talked to me, and he doesn't know I work for you. And there's no way he's getting my referrals. He doesn't even know, because he hasn't reached out to me. Just that birthday card. Maybe his assistant was signing the darn thing. Who knows? So being so robotic with the way that you stay in touch, you could lose people there, right? So pick up that phone, make sure you talk to them voice to voice, make sure you have an actual conversation so that you keep in touch and know where they're going. Nice. Good job. See? You're putting her character out there. That's awesome. So the last of the 3 tips being ask for the business. Ask for the business during the presentation. When you're doing the buyer consult or you're doing your listing presentation, make it clear. I intend to earn your raving referrals with the quality of my service. Say it. Plant the filter in their mind. Let them know that that's your intention, right? I have a friend who makes it clear, and this is true for her. She says, the way I run my business is by referral. I don't door knock strangers and ask them for business. She doesn't even hold open houses. This is her. I don't pay for leads, she says. I just provide extraordinary service, and I get enthusiastic referrals from the people that I serve. She tells them that in the consultation. My goodness, talk about future pacing your referrals. So ask for the business. Do it during the presentations. Do it during the transaction, right? Who do you know that needs the quality of service that I provide? Or who else do you know that's thinking of selling their home at this time? Or there's all sorts of opportunities to ask that. While it's top of mind for them, it's more likely that they'll observe their friends and family and coworkers also looking to transact in real estate. You can share buyer need. You could reach out to your entire database and say, I have these clients, Jan and John, they're looking in such and such area with such and such needs for a certain type of house. Who do you know that's thinking of listing their home? It's a numbers game. Somebody might. So sharing a buyer need can be a compelling way to ask for the business. You can always call and just ask, who do you know? Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell this year? Again, it's a numbers game, right? Right now, it's been amazing how many people who weren't planning to move are considering it just because of the pace of this market. You can share opportunities. Sometimes people become investors just because their agent educated them about the opportunity and what that would include. You can make it clear to people that you will help them find an agent anywhere in the world. I've shared before, there's an agent in my office who does this extraordinarily well. She has it in her email signature. She brings it up in her presentation. She talks about it all the time. I can be your go-to agent. I can help you find an agent anywhere in the world. And she'll have people call her and say, hey, I'm moving from Seattle to Spokane. Can you help me? We're in Colorado, and they still use her services. So us as RE/MAX agents, we have an extraordinary opportunity with our referral network to make that happen and to play matchmaker. And she makes an extraordinary amount of money every year by playing matchmaker. So that's just a little preview of what we've got coming on Monday.
Thank you so much, Amy. This is awesome, and everyone, hope you all register for Coach Amy's class. Go to theallegianceway.com or dominaterealestate.net. Click on the events calendar, and next Monday, April 19th at 10:30 a.m., Amy will be teaching on how referrals are the best source of leads, and following a system is the best way to maximizing your time and effectiveness. Really excited, and I'm going to try to tune in for that class as well. And it really well tied into Avi's earlier with the consistency, and all of that really ties well together. So that was really great. And Amy, so I guess do you have any parting thoughts? We do have a couple
parting thoughts is go to dominaterealestate.net, take advantage of the resources there. There's a template for doing home value reports. There's a template for a letter to announce your service to people, and make sure to watch for Eyerusalem's class, putting the social back in social media. Incredible resources here at RE/MAX Allegiance.
Yes, tune in, everyone. Definitely check out the website, register for our classes, and download all the tools and resources that we have there. Save the date for April 19th for Coach Amy's class, and also next month on, I think, May 5th. I forgot the date already. Save the date. Remember the date, May 5th with Avi for our next speaker series segment on Build Your Influencer Brand. You can access all those on dominaterealestate.net. Click on the events. Thank you so much all for watching, and hope that you all have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.